Once there was a man named Zhang Chu who was a caretaker of a lake. When heavy rains would flow, Zhang would come out to check if the dams near the lake had flooded. One time he was checking the dams during a heavy monsoon when a beautiful maiden wearing fancy blue clothing and holding an umbrella called out to him, "Zhang, please let me follow you to shelter from this horrible rain." Zhang felt sorry for the maiden and thought he would help her, when he suddenly realized, wait, I have never seen such a woman around these parts. Why would such a lady with expensive clothing be outside during a monsoon? She must be a ghost. So Zhang started sprinting away from the woman, and the woman started sprinting like mad to catch up with him. He climbed up a hill to get rid of her, which he did. He looked back after losing her and saw that the woman changed into a humongous otter and shuffled back into the water, and the umbrella and clothing it once wore turned into lotus leaves. After this, Zhang made sure to warn the villagers of the otter, which apparently targeted young men like Zhang. Once, a man named Liang who lived near the capital of Wu was riding his horse cart to his home around midnight. While he was on his way, he saw that a small boy near the age of 10 was playing a harp by the side of the trail. Liang was worried about the safety of the boy, asked if he needed a ride, and the boy said yes and got on the cart alongside Liang. The boy then started playing the most beautiful songs Liang had ever heard for what seemed like hours. Amused, Liang tried to ask the boy where he came from and who his parents were, but the boy suddenly stuck out his tongue, which was huge, slimy, and green, and opened his eyes so wide that Liang nearly fainted of shock. Then the boy vanished without a trace. After 20 miles, Liang came to his senses, and soon after, an old man was on the side of the road. Liang let the old man into the cart after first asking the old man his name, village, and so on. Liang then told the old man, "You know, before yourself, there was some ghost before that, played the most amazing harp I have ever heard." To which the old man replied, "What a coincidence! I am also good at the harp." Then the old man took out his tongue, and it was also huge, slimy, and green, and opened his eyes even wider this time. Liang was so scared of this that he fell from his horse cart and died. The worst was probably the one in London where there was a sink in the room and one of my roommates got back at 2:30-ish every night and brushed her teeth with an electric toothbrush for over 20 minutes. I timed it, just bzzz, for like 2:30 to 3 a.m. every night. The very first night I stayed in a hostel, I was incredibly jet-lagged and slept like a rock, which is very unlike me. I woke up and peered over the edge of the bed to find all my roommates awake, several hostel staff, and 3 EMTs in the room, loading someone onto a stretcher. I had absolutely slept through someone passing out, waking up, trying to get up again, having heart palpitations, and passing out again, and then being attended by emergency services. It apparently had been 30+ minutes since everything started, and I slept through it all. When my head emerged, one of the roommates was like, "Oh, thank God, we were about to ask them to check on you too because we were having trouble believing you were sleeping through all that." Funniest was sharing a dorm with a girl who snored and kept waking herself up with the noise and then shushing the room. I was absolutely dying trying to silently giggle through the whole thing, like tears streaming down my face. It went on for like 15 minutes. Just a couple snores, a second or two of silence. Shh, another beat for her to fall back asleep. A couple snores.